So for today's whiteboard challenge, we're gonna try to design a mobile app, basically a plant care app. The goal is really to help people take good care of their houseplant. So yeah, and feel free to ask me any questions as we move forward. And we'll have roughly 30 minutes total for this exercise.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'll start asking some questions about the problem.
Sure.
So you mentioned that we need to design a mobile app to able to assist people to take good care of their home plants.
Yes, exactly. We'll focus on mobile app as the first step.
Okay. Have you identified the users in the problem?
That's a good question. So for now, we're really thinking about any users basically who has houseplants, plants, vegetables, like any kinds of plants at their home. Probably that's our like target user group as of now. Yeah.
Any demographic, like any age or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, good question. Not any specific range group, but demographic. We want to focus on North America for now. Start as the starting point.
Okay. And you mentioned pretty much any age, and I'm gonna say obviously 18 plus for now, so that it's easier. Okay. Are these plants more indoor plants, outdoor plants, or both?
It could be both. It could be either indoor or outdoor.
So what are basically the problems that our users are dealing with in terms of caring?
That's a good question. So during the pandemic, we realized there are like an increasing amount of users who are getting new plants for their home, and to help like probably making the whole interior working environment a bit better. But a lot of them are new to plant care, and who has very minimum knowledge on how to take care of the plants. So a lot of them are having trouble like how often to water, and there are a lot of problems coming up. So we want to come up this idea, provide a way to help more of a beginners, I guess, for beginners who are seeking tips, recommendations, and also just keep track of their how often, once they know, if you buy a plant, sometimes it comes with that little tag saying water once a week, but how can we help them to keep track of those things?
So basically to make plants live and not die. Okay, this is helpful. Do we know if there is any business goal related with this, or this is just more educating the user to help take care of their plants? Or
yeah, for long term, definitely we're open to ideas. Either it's a membership or probably including involve advertising. But for now, MVP, we just want to get this product out. So yeah, we can more focus on solving the user problem for this exercise. But if you have any thoughts, feel free to bring it up, in terms of maybe there are some ideas, how can we monetize it?
Okay. Yeah. The next question that is coming to my mind is basically regarding any success metric. What do you think? Do we have that defined as of now?
Yeah, in terms of success matrix, so first of all, this is a new app, so we want to gain user. So gain new user and basically and retain users. So I think in terms of first step, we definitely hope to get as many users to download this app, and then it's hopefully they will keep using the service rather than download it and leave it. So I think engagement is important as well.
Okay. All right. So yeah, just to recap, I think basically a user is anybody who has just started to buy plants and they don't know how to take care of it. it's more to make their environment better within the home or outside.
Yeah, that's the main problem. But feel free to bring up like what are might be other problems like they might run into, like common issues from how to take care, keep track of things to maybe troubleshooting. Yeah.
Right. I'm also thinking from the starting point of view, you know, when giving my example, since let's say I'm currently like so totally new, I didn't know about plants or anything. I think my first thing to even think about start buying plants was what to buy that would require very less, you know, attention from my end.
That's a good point. Yeah. So in terms of like when you try to make a choice, like what kind of plants might be good for your home conditions or weather, geographic conditions.
Yes, or seasons based on like, yeah, where I live.
Yeah, that's a good point. That would be helpful.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. So I'll take care of that as well. Okay. So I think I have gained a little bit information about the users from where I think I'm not very sure. I would like to make some assumptions along the way. So I think I'm clear about the mobile app. Just for the sake of brevity, I think I'll take, let's say, iOS as the main.
Sure. That sounds good.
All right. So users and a little bit about success metric that is clear to me. Okay, let me go into a little bit of ideation and what I'm thinking that we may add and what will add value to the product overall.
Yeah, sounds
good. Is there any name to the product or app that is there?
We don't have a name yet, but feel free to make a one if you want.
Cool. I'm thinking green. Something. Let's just call it that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So as we just spoke, I think since you mentioned, is this a completely new idea? Do we have any existing solution to this problem in the market?
That's a good question. So from what we learned, most of the case people will just go to like Google search when they have some issue or run into issue, either try to search how to fix this problem or maybe search for some like videos on YouTube. But yeah, that's basically most of the users, the currently how they solve those kind of problems. There's really hard to figure out because once they go to search, there are a lot of results and it's hard to tell which ones are good to refer to. And some are really brave, some are so much in depth, like more than what they actually looking for. So we want to like make this app to help everyone to have this one place to go for.
Okay. All right. So okay, we have 21 minutes. We have 21 minutes left. I think I would like to go into a little bit of ideation to explore what we can do best. All right. So yeah, for this particular problem, there could be multiple routes. I think the first one I would like to is to, for someone who is completely new into this world, give proposals or recommendation around what is best to buy. I'm thinking this application is not the platform from where they can actually buy, right? This is more just for
discover. Yeah. Let's focus on discover first. Maybe there will be opportunities to connect and make this a one place for shopping in later. But for this exercise, we want to focus more on the app itself, like especially the journey of how can we help users take better care of their home plants.
Okay. So yeah, we can keep this maybe as one of the ideas around discover what can be brought. Okay. For particularly, I think the troubleshooting. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking a user, I think, would open the app, do the little bit of sign up, the basic, sign up or login, just so that we have the credentials of the users with us. Again, so I'm thinking from first time user perspective. We will try to keep the onboarding pretty much simple and not too much of it, so that user can quickly land onto what I'm calling it as dashboard and start, understanding.
Definitely.
Okay. Definitely, I'm thinking about giving a search button or like a search area for the users to input the keywords if they are seeing, if they are seeing like, and we can also give them a little bit of hint about the search. So search for, let's say, if there are dry leaves,
Oh, I see. Like this is for them to search any like problems they run into.
Yeah, any problems that they are currently seeing that is pretty evident.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, so like dry leaves, plant root is rotten or something like that. I have come across this app which is currently like live, which is called Picture This. And what Picture This application does is basically would scan.
Like using the camera to scan?
Using the camera, and they have this huge, it's pretty much similar to Google search. It's just that you can use a camera to search.
That sounds a convenient and helpful feature.
Right. So let's say we have the, the model ready to be able to support that kind of search. User can do either like a search input through the button or scan their phone to look at the plant, right? And understand.
I love that idea. So users can like easily just use the camera to like help identify what problem, what issue this plant is having.
Right. And I think in the results, basically, in the search result, it's too broad for now. I'm thinking, I mean, dry leaves for which particular plant. So we need to start thinking about narrowing it down. But if users are scanning, app would know pretty much, which particular plant is that.
Are you thinking like perhaps the scan will take care of what kind of plant it is, or that's something we'll need the users to input?
I think if our application can be intelligent enough to understand this kind of AI, I am thinking, or if there is any machine learning involved that we can support for this. Else, of course, user can first scan, and also we'll give user a place where they can enter about which exact plant it is.
Sounds good.
In case users are not aware of which plant that is, I think our search will be pretty broad.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
Look at the plant app. So basically that will be the plant name. Okay. I'm also thinking like we can have a few, I don't know, like sort of cards up at the dashboard where we can tell user about what are the most popular problems that users are dealing with, the other people are dealing with.
I see, yeah. Is that relevant to their plants or just the general, like popular?
Just the general, but maybe what most of the users are searching, so that if it relates with their problem, they can just instantly tap on that tile.
Got it. Yeah, that sounds a good idea.
Okay. Users can search for. Basically, after all of this, after scanning, either going through search or either tapping on the tiles, what we are trying to do is help user to basically solve the problem, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So for the solution, again, I think depending on the problems that users have input, I think the solution could be pretty much, we can just plug web results or the search results that, we can either do an internet search on the search, but if they're trying to do within app, we can basically populate solutions which are more with something which user can act on basically.
Could you talk a bit more? What does it mean?
Yeah, so suggestions like, again, I'm thinking from the point of like dry leaves, or if they see that a particular flower is dying, basic suggestions around watering the plant more, or providing the plant more sunlight or less sunlight.
Got it.
So that basically is, so giving a search button for the problem. Of course, like we can along the way ask user to maybe add more information so that we can give more specific suggestions.
Sure. So this is like sort of personalized recommendations based on their past search history.
Yeah, it can be that, but currently I'm more thinking about, let's say user gives a very broad search and you can start populating the results.
Right.
2 or 3 results. But we can have a way for user to give us more information so that we can give, even further specific results to that particular problem.
Got it. Cool. Sounds good.
Okay, and we can, in the search, I'm thinking we can also have like maybe a questionnaire around a few questions. Do you know which plant is it? Something like that.
So those are things we want to ask users?
Yeah.
Got it.
For like more specific results.
Okay.
We can maybe start asking these questions.
Got it.
Mostly, I think in the case when you said that users actually kind of went ahead and got the plant themselves, they might be knowing about the exact name of the plant, and that also helps. Also about the season, I'm thinking, I think our suggestions might like help you. What I was thinking is around when we're talking about seasons, we can have just like a suggestion that does not talk about any specific season, but just very generic. So, if that falls within the criteria of it's a summer month or winter, so, and search around seasons.
Sure. And how can we keep those in one place? Like say I have, I don't know, one plant that I want to keep tracking. Like maybe today I have this problem of dry leaves. Tomorrow I have another problem. Is there a way we can keep those, like help the user track those issues along the journey of their individual plants?
Yeah, I think, of course, we can do that. There are 2 ways I'm thinking. One thing is they can go manually add the plants that they know of and, just enter a little information about the plant and what happened. So I'm not sure if we need to add date and time and everything. That might make it more complicated, but just they can start adding what went wrong, sort of.
Sure.
And then this way they can have the track of what might have went wrong. And this will also plug in at the suggestion that we might have given at that time. And so they can go back and understand about it. I think the one last thing that we spoke about, maybe membership. I'm thinking ads might be a good place to start monetizing. Ads regarding places from where they can buy the plants basically, or add more plants in their home or community, or basically ads regarding, these are the different chemicals or something that they can buy to
Got it.
keep their plans.
That makes a lot of sense. How about the issue we talked about, like how can we help them keep track of like things like the routine things they need to do, for example, watering and perhaps fertilizing, things that they might like just forget?
Okay. Yeah, actually for that, I was thinking again in this particular tracking section, we can maybe add like a calendar, a sort of timer basically, where they can, similar to what we add for a reminder for, hydrating ourselves, right?
Right, exactly.
Add a calendar or reminder to hydrate plant, and they can just tick it if they have, like check it if they have done it. And if not, like, it's like we can remind them for the other things. And if they haven't taken action here, then something like what will potentially go wrong so that they are ready for that kind of,
Cool.
action.
Yep. I like that idea.